And all these people coming here, there's too many foreigners here now doing bugger all. They're walking around town, they're doing nothing. I see a guy the other day, one of the Romanians, 7 kids, and about the oldest about 10-year-old. Come on, they ain't coming here to work. I've just had enough. Well, I've had enough, man.
On one hand, however, you're saying they're taking a lot of jobs, but on the other hand, you're saying they're not working. Can you explain that? Hello everyone, and a special welcome to those of you who've just subscribed to this channel following my interview with Peter Hitchens. Those of you who've watched that interview may well remember a part of it where we talk about the town of Boston, and Peter Hitchens asked me if I've ever been, to which I reply, not once, no. So here I am, in Boston, and here are some Boston facts. In the 2016 EU referendum, Boston recorded the highest vote in the UK for Brexit with a 76% vote to leave. It has been reported that the migrant population of the town rose by 460% between 2004 and 2014. The last census showed around 13% of Boston's population was born in the EU as opposed to the UK. Many of those people are Eastern European migrants who arrived here after 2004 and who have found work here. Speaking of work, labour market statistics from last year show the median hourly pay for employees working in Boston is £10.88. That's £3.99 less than the number for Great Britain as a whole. Also, just 1 month prior to the EU referendum taking place, the BBC reported that people here had become frustrated as local rents were much higher than in Nottingham, despite wages being lower. So I'm here today to talk to locals to get a greater sense not just of what they think about the political and social landscape of Boston, but also that of the UK.
They've took the jobs of our boys because they've come and undercut all our boys. The benefit is the farmers. They're quite happy. They're making more profit themselves, you see. But our boys years ago actually did all the work. What these foreigners are doing today, and that's it. They did the job years ago, and they did it up to the dinner time. They did the job. All the farmers, if they wanted any type of vegetables, whatever, they was done. They was there on time. All the boys worked. There's no such thing as shirking. The lads worked, but there is a lot of shirkers in this country. That's the trouble. There's too many British people that don't bloody work, and that's the biggest problem in this country. And they shouldn't be giving them benefits. They shouldn't be giving them credits and all this lot.
Why do you think people in Boston voted so overwhelmingly for Brexit?
I think it's a couple of things really. I think the town's changed a lot in the last probably 15, 20 years. You used to know everybody, but now you don't know nobody. I think they could have done the things a lot. Europe could have done things a lot better by investing in the infrastructure in the town, by providing more places in the hospitals and lots of things like that. And it's a strange thing really, but Boston's a small place for a lot of people and the town's just doubled in size.
What I'm getting from your answer is you think there's been a loss of community spirit here?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, you don't know anybody anymore. When I was a boy, you could leave your door open and nobody would walk into the place, but nowadays you can't do that sort of thing no more.
When you say people are, I can't remember the word you use, disregarding or disrespecting people's, the environment, sorry. Yes. What do you mean by that?
Well, there are a whole host of examples, but people throw litter, whereas when I was a lad, nobody dared do that or nobody would do that. People don't seem to care about other people's property. This, for instance, is a pedestrian zone, but people cycle through. They don't care about other people anymore in the same way that people used to. But this isn't a phenomenon that's typical to Boston, of course.
Like I say, I do employ migrant workers. But I like to employ migrant workers in the way of getting to stay here, make their families meet here, meet English people maybe, or other migrants, and stay here, buy a house, become part of the local community, and then the bigger community in the UK. That's what I think should happen. But the problem is, with uncontrolled migration, which we didn't have before Brexit, I hope we're going to have now, is that you could come and go freely and raid the country from its assets and go back.
So you came to the UK from Bulgaria.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm from Bulgaria. My name is Niko Kirimov and I'm from Sofia.
And when did you come here?
I come 2017 September.
And what do you do, Nico?
I go to college and my family is working at the moment.
And do you mind me asking what they do?
Yeah, they're working in a factory for cutting meat. They cut meat like pigs. And that's it actually, that's it. They work in one factory which is located not in Boston, in Spalding. Yeah.
Do you feel welcome here? Do you think people are accepting of you, people who've been here longer than you?
I mean, that's a hard question to answer, because every person is different, but I think, and I really like Boston, so I think Boston is welcome town, Everyone is respecting each other, so I think yes.
What do you think of the fact that this town had the biggest vote for Brexit in the whole UK?
Maybe because, as you know, a lot of people, foreign people live in Boston, so probably, maybe, I don't know, English people just don't want any more foreign people to come or something like that, you know what I mean? Because we make a lot of trouble as well, because we are new to this country and we have all our old habits and we come and we don't need to be like that. We need to respect everyone. That's the point,
What do you mean old habits?
I mean, as you know, we are from Eastern European and we are not the richest, we are poor countries. We came from poor countries, and for us, when we come to new country, it's different for us. We think that, here we'll make a lot of money or something like that, but actually it's hard. Actually, you need to work a lot. You need to respect everyone. You don't need to think that you're higher than everyone. No, everyone is equal. That's it, mate.
And when you go to college, do you have a lot of friends that are not from originally from Eastern Europe?
Yeah, I mean, I speak with a lot of English people, and they really, communicate with me. They don't care if I'm Eastern European. It matters your character, and that's it. Yeah.
Do you think Britain was better in the past?
Yes, definitely.
When do you think Britain was at its best?
Well after the war. I was born in '48, right? And I had a good, enjoyable lifestyle. When I was, all right, my dad worked. He worked hard. But like I said, he said to me years ago, he died in '65, he said, if I don't work, boy, there's no food on the table. None of this giving money all the time and all these people coming here. There's too many foreigners here now doing bugger all. They're walking around town. They're doing nothing. I see a guy the other day, one of the Romanians, 7 kids, and about the oldest is about 10-year-old. Come on, they ain't coming here to work. I've just had enough. Well, I've had enough, man.
On one hand, however, you're saying they're taking a lot of jobs, but on the other hand, you're saying they're not working. Can you explain that?
They're not. They are working. Someone's working. There's a lot of good folk here. Don't get me wrong. I've met some good, nice Polish people through my work, my wife, where she used to work. Some real good people, and they want to get on in life. I even know some people, foreign people, from Polish people, that said there's too many foreigners in this town, and that was from a Polish person.
Boston has benefited so much from having immigrants over the past decade or so, particularly during the recession. So many towns have suffered very badly with empty shops. We didn't have many empty shops during the recession because they were occupied by immigrants who were also their customers. Now we seem to be having more empty shops for some reason. So I'm afraid I don't have any great answers for that.
More empty shops, what do you mean?
Well, we're standing looking at one just now, just behind us, a very large corner site. Marks and Spencer's has recently withdrawn from Boston. That, of course, has got nothing to do with immigration or indeed the EU. That's a matter of their own problems with their own market, their own position in the market. They're closing very many shops. But it's a big blow for Boston because it's a big site right in the centre of town, and now it's boarded up, just as is that rather nice place just behind us.
We've always had people picking daffodils, working in the fields, coming and going, picking soft roots in the summer. We've always had that. We've always done that. That's not changed ever. It's like when I was a young lad, the thing was going to Tunisia to pick oranges. You go there for the experience, pick the oranges in Tunisia, take the money, experience, come back. But you're not there to raid their health service or anything like that.
I know people who move away from this town because there's too many forests in the town. West Street here is a waste of space to Boston now, to us. Absolute waste of space. There's one place in Boston we can go, in West Street, one place in Boston we could go. And that's the old co-op with the post office. Other than that, we can use their shops, no doubt. There's no problem with using their shops. But one street is all Polish, everywhere. I don't mind the workers, I don't mind people coming here to work and doing it, but there's too many walking about doing nothing, taking money off the country. That is not right. I worked 51 bloody years to get my money. I ain't got much money, but I worked 51 years, a lot of it in the building trade. Now, people come here and all they want to do is sign on, do this, do that, and our bloody country lets them do it. So that's it. I'm sorry. They had enough on it.
I think the farmers are driving around in Land Rovers and Range Rovers, and people around here have got nothing, like driving in the 500 quid cars. So that's the sort of thing I think, really. We need better wages and better working conditions, really.
May I ask how you voted?
I voted to leave.
And was it just immigration for you, or were there other reasons?
There are other reasons as well, because I can appreciate that obviously the immigrants that do work here obviously work the low-paid or service sector, and they are needed, which obviously English people don't want to do. So in that respect, no, that wasn't the issue. I don't believe that Brussels provides us with a service that we deserve. They're too high-powered now, and I think it's just a way of them trying to tell us what to do when we don't want it.
What about the fact that a lot of people in Boston are paid low wages? Do you think that contributed to the Brexit result here?
Well, a lot of people who paid low wages around Boston probably are the immigrants. I mean, there's a lot of people in Boston who've made a lot of money out of immigration because they can rent out houses, rent out rooms, and they've made a lot of money. So in that respect, no, I don't think it is. I think it's the fact that it's overwhelmingly putting pressure on our NHS and education service.
Is the cost of rent a massive problem for people in Boston that you're familiar with?
Yeah, I mean, I will talk about personal, because I am not sure about the other one. Believe me, because the rent is like you pay every week, because let's say if you live in my country, you pay every month, it's different. Here you need to pay every week, you need to pay gas, electric, bills, so it's a little bit hard, because a lot of people work in agencies. So let's say if they work 2-3 days, it's a little bit hard for them to pay the rent, Yeah.
Because the work is insecure.
Yeah, actually the work is insecure. Believe me, mate, a lot of people now are going back to their countries because they're not sure of the work.
And that's purely because of work. They're going back to their country. Who's going back? Do you know people?
Yeah, I know a lot of Bulgarian people actually just say now they don't have a lot of work and they'll just go back because they're just wasting money because of the rent. Yeah.
As far as parliamentary representation is concerned, this town is part of the Boston and Skegness constituency, which has always been held by the Conservatives since its creation as a seat in 1997. It did actually used to be a very close marginal seat between the Conservatives and Labour, but it has been held more comfortably by the Conservatives from the 2005 general election onwards.
It's never been a Labour stronghold, which is quite strange really, because it's quite a working town, but I just don't understand why that is really though.
May I ask who you voted for at the last general election?
Yeah, I voted Conservative. I voted Labour at every other one. Tony Blair's my big hero sort of thing. I thought he did really well. But yeah.
So that's really interesting. You've voted Labour at every general election apart from this one. So what was it about Corbyn's Labour Party that put you off? Corbyn.
Corbyn really. He's just not trustworthy. Diane Abbott with flippant remarks. None of the Labour Party really strike a chord with me. I'd never vote for any of the Labour Party that are in the cabinet under the shadow cabinet that was under Corbyn, Keir Starmer or any of them.
I can't see personally that the Conservative Party has offered anything great, except that again people were very disillusioned with the situation that was pertaining over Brexit, and even though I was very keen to stay, nonetheless even I wanted to get things done because the situation in which we found ourselves for 3 years was just unsustainable.
So when Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party were calling for a second referendum, that didn't do it for you?
Well, there were problems with that, really, because firstly he didn't really call for it in any definitive way, and he only mentioned it really very late in the day. It hadn't been a policy that was defined at the very beginning of their campaign, and I think that people just saw that as being a final effort to sort of shore up their obviously losing position.
And why didn't you trust Jeremy Corbyn?
I just think he's out of touch with reality completely.
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
Well, his IRA comments, his comments, his Jewish comments, all that sort of stuff. Really, it just don't strike a common factor with people around here.
Why do you think Labour lost the general election so badly this time round?
Partly because of Jeremy Corbyn, because he's not trusted, and I don't think he should be trusted.
Why shouldn't he be trusted? Can you just pick up on that?
Because of his links with either Hamas or the IRA, so he shouldn't be trusted in that respect. And I think basically they lost touch. They didn't listen to what people were asking for with regards to Brexit, because a lot of areas that are traditionally Labour voted to leave, and they didn't listen to obviously what people were trying to tell them, and that's basically the reason why. And obviously Boris Johnson was able to maybe give them some hope. A lot of people said after, because it had been hanging on for so long, we just want to leave. They didn't take that on board and they weren't prepared to listen, and that's why.